Hi everyone, Sandra Sherman here. Greetings from Austria. For this guitar lesson, I took the Beatles classic Eleanor Rigby and arranged it chord melody style. I tried to arrange it as easy as possible, while still keep it exciting. I'll show everything note for note, slow and easy, and there is also a slow tempo version towards the end of this tutorial. I made tabs and backing tracks for you, both slow and fast, which you can download from the description box down below the video. Alright, let's get started. We're in the original key of E minor and we have 3 sections. And before we start, let's have a look at my right hand technique. I use hybrid picking, which means I play with my pick and my fingers simultaneously, but you can use your fingers only or just strum with the pick through the strings. That's okay too. Alright, and here's the intro or the chorus respectively, and this is how it works. I'm gonna play through it quickly now so you can hear what it sounds like. Then I'll break each section down for you, note for note, and then I play it slowly along with the backing track. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we start with a C major chord, regular cowboy chord. 3, 2, 0 first and up to the high E string, okay? So you just strum through the strings. Then we're on the 2nd fret of the E, the 3rd, and then we have a 6th going on, interval of a 6th. That's the 5th of the E string and the 5th of the G string. And you can't strum this. Well, you can if you mute the B string. So you do hybrid picking or you just use your fingers. Alright? Then we have a minor 6th. And this is the 3rd of the E string and the 4th of the G string. Make sure to fret it like I do with the exact same fingers. Otherwise you have to struggle switching the sixths. Then you glide down with your middle finger and we have another 6th. And this is why it's important to have your middle finger on the G string. The 2nd and the 2nd of G and E string. And then you have open strings, G and E string. And now it's a full E minor chord. Second and second of A and D string. And then with your pinky, you add to the G string second. You play that G string while the rest is still ringing, and you make a pull off, right? Sorry. And then there is that little string line that the strings play. And we have the G string, second, fourth, and muted on with your right hand, like in rock guitar, muted. Put your palm on the bridge and mute the string. Second fret, fourth fret, open string, and fourth fret. Then repeat it, second, fourth, open, fourth. So. And the last one is the second of the D string. And then it starts all over again. So it's being played twice, all right? And I'm gonna play it with the playback slowly for you, just the intro. Alright, and here's the A section or the verse, and it has 5 bars which are being repeated twice, so it's 10 bars, and here we go. 3, 4. Alright, we start with an E minor 7 chord. That's the 7 of the A string, 9, 7, 8, the inner 4 strings only. Then the pinky goes to the 10th of the B. Then you bar over to the E string and you get that 7th fret. Then back to the B string on the 8th fret now. And then your pinky goes to the E, that's the 9th fret of the G. Try to keep the entire chord ringing, the entire time while playing the single tones. Alright, next bar. Inner 4 strings again, regular E minor 7. Pinky to the 10th of B. Over to the 7th of the E string. That's this one. Now the full chord with the pinky on the E string 10th fret. Strum it, that's important. So it gets a full sound. Then a single note 9th fret E string, single note 7th fret E string. Then back to the 9th but full chord. Single note 7th of the E string and 10th of the B string up to here. Lift it off again and play the full chord up to the E string. 10th of B, single note, 8th of B, that's this one. And then it goes to the C6, but let me repeat this. All the 2 bars. Alright, and now it's for a C6 chord. That's the C on the 8th of the E string, 10th of D, 9th of G, and the 10th of B. The A string is not being played. If you strum, you need to mute the A string with your index finger. So it's better to not strum, but if you want to, you need to mute that A string. Alright. Then we have a little filler going on. You could leave it ringing like that for a full bar, but it's a little boring. So what I do, I play the bass again, and I play the upper 3 strings again. Where are we? Here. play them twice. So that's a nice filler. Now we are on a regular C triad. Here's the root, 10th of D, 9th of G, and 8th of B string. Then I add the 6th again, that's the 10th of the B string, right? I slide to the 12th. So now I let go of all the other fingers and I slide over. And now I'm back to 6th again, like in the intro. This is the 8th of E and the 9th of the G string. And then here you have a better angle, and then I glide over to the 7th and the 7th G and E strings. Right, from C. And then you repeat everything again. Okay, and here is the entire A section or verse at slow tempo with the playback. Congrats, you made it to the B section, that's the final section, and it has 4 bars which are being repeated twice, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, we start with an E minor, actually it's an 11 chord, E minor 11 chord. 7, 9, 7, and 10 of the inner 4 strings, okay, no E strings. Then I play the bass one more time, but you can also not play that because the melody does not require it, but I made it kind of a little, I don't know, sounds a little like folk picking style here. Then I go over to the 8th fret and I play the 3 strings D, G, and B. So first I play all 4 strings, then you might want to add the A string, then the middle finger goes on to the 8th fret and you play those 3 strings. Then you go back to the 10th and play the 3 strings again, D, G, and B. So then you might want to add another bass string, but you don't have to, okay? Then you bar over to the E string and you have the 7th fret. While you do that, you should let go of the pinky because now it's the 8th fret of the B string. And then the 9th fret of the G string. Then you let everything go and you play the 9th of the, again, but with your index now, the G string. Then we slide, to the 12th of E and the 12th of G. Where do they all belong? Then the 7th of G and E string, the 5th of G and E string, then the 4th and the 3rd. And that was it. Then we go to the E minor, open E minor chord. Strum through it. Don't do this, but really go through all strings. Okay, up to the E string, because this is where the melody is. So that's important. Right? Then I play 2 artificial harmonics just because. Just because I like it. 5th fret of all strings actually. I actually just play more of the upper strings, okay? So you touch it ever so slightly on the 5th fret and you let go immediately. You have to pluck really hard now. And then the 7th fret, that's a little easier. 5th and 7th. And you play everything twice, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now, and playing it at slow tempo for you with the playback. Alright, here's a note on the song form. The original song goes back to the A and B section now. While I trimmed the song a bit, my arrangement, we go straight back to the intro. So my arrangement is intro, A, B, intro, A, B, and ending. Alright, and the ending is nothing else but the last section we had. Was with the harmonics on the 5th and 7th, right? And for the ending, I add on the last chord on the 1, so this is 3, 4, I add another harmonic on the 12th fret. All right, so the last thing goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And it just let it ring. Alright, let's hear the entire song now at slow tempo. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked my rendition of Eleanor Rigby. And if you did so, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I see you next week. Servus, Baba.